Please take his place on the dais. I also request the chairperson of this session, Dr. B.R. Sharma, to please come on to the dais. Sir, may I request you to kindly present a bouquet to our speaker, the first session. It gives me great pleasure to introduce to you Mr. S.Sridharan, trustee of the Krishnamacharya Yoga Mandiram and member of the governing body of the Morarji Desai National Institute of Yoga, Government of India. Mr. Sridharan is a senior student of the renowned yoga teacher, Sri T.K. Videsikachar. He has been a dedicated student of his teacher since 1981, when he was working as a banker for one of India's largest banks. Over the course of his career, as his interest in yoga became more profound, he began to be involved in the Krishnamacharya Yoga Mandiram, Chennai, initially as a teacher and then as a consultant. In the mid-90s, he quit his position as vice president of the bank to become fully involved in the KYM. He served the KYM as the managing trustee for over 8 years, bringing extraordinary changes, including the obtaining of the ISO 9000 certification that makes KYM a truly professional organization ready to take the teachings of yoga to the next generation. Mr. Sridharan is one of the senior mentors of the teachers of the KYM, especially in the areas of meditation, classical texts, apart from yoga therapy. He is currently trustee of the KYM, member of the governing body of Morarji Desai National Institute of Yoga, New Delhi, and member of the governing committee of Raja Veda Patashala, Kumbakonam. Sir, I hand over the mic to you.
विशेषवित्पारिषदेषु नाथ विदग्धगोष्ठी समराङ्गणेषु जिगीषितो मे कवितार्किकेन्द्रा जिह्वाग्रसिंहासनमप्युपेयाः श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः. Respected Sharma ji, respected colleagues of mine, senior colleagues and students, I would like to just straight go into the topic and discuss with you some of the dimensions and dynamics in yoga, particularly from the point of view of contributions of our Acharya, Krishnamacharya. Gurum prakashayet dhiman mantram yatnena gopayet. This is a saying. I understand, I have seen this saying coming in Rahasya Trayasara of the Swami Deshika. I understand it is also more ancient and is found in somewhere else. The import of this saying is, a student has to do anything and everything to bring to the public the glory and teachings of his teacher. At the same time, the student should do anything and everything to keep the mantra initiated to him secret. This is generally a saying which is more relevant to Vedic mantras, Vedic study. How is it relevant for our seminar or the workshop here, which is on yoga? Yoga, from the point of view of yoga education or study, has also got two parts. One part relates to the study of classical text on yoga, like Yoga Sutra, Hatha Yoga Pratipika. Sharma ji was talking about Yoga Sutra, Hatha Yoga Pratipika, Yoga Yajnavalkya Samhita, Bhagavad Gita. These are all the text one studies. And the second aspect of it is the practice, personal practice. When we were all initiated into yoga, and the privilege we had to study with our teacher, me and Latha here, so for the last 3 decades, we had 2 types of classes. One class is where all of us will sit together and it will be on Yoga Sutra, Hatha Yoga Pratipika and other texts. But when it comes to personal practice, we will never be in a group. We will have to meet our teacher in his room separately. So these are the 2 types of important dimensions in yoga. Why? And what is kept a secret here is what my teacher has imparted to me as my yoga practice, which still I preserve in a notebook. It is almost one diary full. He has written it by his hand, the various postures, breathing, which he will teach. I cannot share it with any of you. Not for the reason that I don't want to share it, it will have no value for any of you. This is the same thing in yoga. When we teach something, it should be very personal from the point of view of practice. I can share a lot of things, what he has taught us about the Yoga Sutra, Hatha Yoga Pratipika, the various dimensions about it, we can share. What is the most important thing today, which is lost, which my colleague Latha was very particular that I should share it with you, is the personal touch in yoga. Yoga is a topic which cannot be just taught over a platform. There is a personal touch that is required and that is slowly missing. So this has to be brought into place. Towards the end also, I will talk about it before we conclude. So this is Tirumala Krishnamacharya, and there is going to be a small film show about him after probably the sessions are over, on which you already saw a small portion. His teachings are what we are disseminating at Krishnamacharya Yoga Mandiram. He is not the founder actually. The founder of our place is his son, Desikacharya. I need to say a few words because this is the Gurum Prakashe Dhiman. Who is our Guru, what is the background and his teaching. I am going to share a small portion of his teachings. His name is Tirumala Krishnamacharya, and next slide. He was born in 1888 in Karnataka in a place called Muchukunte. He lived for 101 years. He attained Samadhi Siddhi in Chennai, 1989. His father was a Vedic Pandit and he had his complete education in the Gurukula system. And he lost his father when he was 11, and then he came under the tutelage of Parakalamat, where he continued to learn. He secured at least, to our knowledge, minimum 5. Vedanta Vakisa, Veda Kesari, Sankhya Yoga Shikamani, a few more. In fact, Latha is going to say 1 or 2 about them in her speech. Every one of them he has obtained independently in various places. Latha has even noted down the places where he has obtained the degrees. This is something like a picture of him with a congregation like where their medals are there. Yeah, go. He learnt yoga from Swami Ramamogana Brahmachari. The word Brahmachari is a title given to a segment of yogis. He was not a Brahmachari in the strict term of a bachelor. He had a family. And he learnt it in the foothills of Mount Kailash and the pristine environment of Manasarovar. According to what he has told me in person about 7 sessions of his life, he has stated that he lived there for quite some time with the family. In fact, at that point of time, he and his teacher's daughter were together in the classes, and they have drawn some pictures of some of the postures. And who is he from the point of view of modern day yoga? Okay, we are talking about somebody 1888 and a person who is a Vedic scholar, and his complete education was Vedic education only. He never had even iota of the modern education. And he was a great Pandit in Vedas, and he could recite the Vedas from memory, all prayogas, everything. What has he to do with the modern day yoga world? He is considered to be the father of modern day yoga, and the yoga journal says, you may have never heard of him, but Tirumalai Krishnamacharya influenced or perhaps even invented your yoga. Perhaps he invented your yoga. Whether you practice the dynamic series of Pattabhi Jose, one of his students, the refined alignment of B.K. Iyengar, the classical postures of Indira Devi, the customized vinyasa of Desikachar, your practice stems from one source, a 5'2" Brahmin born more than 100 years ago in a small South Indian village. This is, I have taken it from, please go back, I have taken it from the 2001 issue of Yoga Journal. So even today, Krishnamacharya's legacy continues. And 4 of these important students, Pattabhi Jose is no more, Indira Devi is not there, B.K. Iyengar is in Pune, he is past 95, 96 or so. Recently there was an interview in the television, and Desikachar is our founder teacher, and we are passing on the lineage of Krishnamacharya Desikachar lineage. Please, next. What are his important works? There is a work called Yogavalli, of which this is a Sanskrit commentary on Yoga Sutra by Krishnamacharya, and the first chapter with translation in Tamil was published. It has gone out of print. Probably we are likely to bring it out, maybe with an English translation, with the help of Dr. Jayaraman and others. And he has written a commentary on Brahma Sutra, closely following the Sri Bhashya of Ramanuja, called Chit Achit Tattva Mimamsa, which is not published. Yoganjali Saram, from which I am going to quote, is published. Dhyaanamalika is one of those published by him. And there are a lot of hymns, collection of hymns, which he has poured over a period of time. He had the ability to bring out Sanskrit verses, what they call as Asu Kavi. Some of them he has written eight verses on Adisesha Ashtagam. They are all, some of them have been published and we are likely to bring them. And he is a unique personality, education totally under Vedic system, scholar in Vedas, related subject, believed and practiced yoga till the last breath. I mean till the last breath, because I had the occasion to be near when he just left his mortal remains. So we had known, even the morning he had practiced. Maintained the teachings of a parampara under the saint called Nathamuni, yes, Vaishnavite, South Indian saint, and he was a faith in Sri Vaishnavism, but taught according to the belief of the student. This is what we follow in Krishnamacharya Yoga Mandiram. We largely rely on the belief of the person. We don't impose the belief of the teacher on the student, particularly with regard to matters like meditation and other aspects. His strong beliefs, Krishnamacharya's strong beliefs, Vedas are the authority. One should live according to the injunctions of the Vedas to have a good, long and healthy life. Practice of yoga is compulsory. This he has written in Yoganjali Saram. Some of them I will share. For enjoyment and emancipation, most important, following yama and niyama. He was very particular that in the practice of Ashtanga Yoga, in fact in the film which you are likely to see, you can see what type of postures he is doing, his body flexibility, the way in which he is doing the posture. He did not stop with that. He was very particular of following the yama and niyamas of the disciplines. It's an integral part of yoga. The dimensions, this is what the topic now, I am going to enter into the topic, I need to. So what are the dimensions of yoga or dimensions in yoga on which we can present the contribution of Krishnamacharya? One I would like to present is, he says there are 3 types of yoga even. And to quote the verse from Yoganjali Saram, Atmika, Daihika, Manasa, Bhedat, Trividam, Vigitam, Yogabhyasanam, Sakalam, Yachati, Vanchita Suphalam, Nagi Yogabhyasanam, Vipalam. Yoga, practice of yoga will never go waste, even if you do anything. As Sharmaji is putting it in the morning very clearly, people are taking to yoga asana mainly because it is giving some help to them at the physical level. His idea was to integrate. In fact, that is what is put in a subtle and different way. There are 3 important aspects. So one, yoga for the soul, yoga for the mind, yoga for the body, but you need to integrate them. So this is on the basis of the tools, but as I put in the last, yoga is holistic. One has to practice it holistic way. How the different tools of yoga work? When you are talking about these dimensions, what is the different tool work? He says beautifully, Asana Karanat Tarasam Sarasam, Pranayamat Prabalam Pranam, Dharana Shuddham Kurumattishtam, Dhyanat Shuddham Chittam Nityam. This is again from Yoganjali Saram. Practice of the asanas make the body fit, light and fit. In fact, Hatha Yoga Pradika talks about what are the aspects of asana one will get, lagutvam. So it makes the body fit actually, without diseases. But it doesn't stop with that. That's what Sharmaji is trying to emphasize. You need to go to at least the next one, which pranayama strengthens the prana, and dharana strengthens the memory, and dhyanam purifies the mind. And that should be the linear way in which one goes about it. And he also talks about the dimensions of yoga into 3 interesting ways. He calls them as Srishti Krama, Sthiti Krama, Adhyatmika or Antakrama, or we call it as Adhyatmika Krama also, Antya Krama. Tridha Yoga Kramaha Proktaha Srishti Sthiti Antabhetataha Ashtasvapitu Yogangeshva Adhyo Budai Sada. This is from a text called Yoga Ragasya. I have omitted that. Yoga Ragasya is a text that he dictated, which we have published. So he says in that we can divide the yoga into 3. Srishti Krama, that is a krama where Srishti means growth. So it is meant for students. Actually this is based on the ancient idea of the Varnashrama Dharma. Brahmacharya, Grahastha, Vanaprastha, Sannyasa. So he followed that and he said, for the brahmacharis it is Srishti Krama, for the Grahasthas it is Sthiti Krama, for the next 2 categories, Vanaprastha and Sannyasa, Antya Krama, that is the end. How? It is the emphasis is more on postures, more on posture. In fact, he has even given a ratio for that, very interestingly, what we call as 4:2:1, because after Sharmaji said it should not be mistaken that it is only asanas. He stated 4, that is, if somebody is going to practice 70 minutes, 40 minutes of the practice of that person, a young boy, should be in asana, 20 minutes should be in pranayama and 10 minutes in dhyana. Similarly, it will change. In fact, when you come to the final, it will be 10 minutes of asana, 20 minutes of pranayama and 40 minutes of dhyana for the one who is in the last of the ashramas. Next one. In fact, putting it a bit differently, he also called them as Shikshana Krama, Rakshana Krama and Chikitsa Krama. This is another dimension in yoga which he presented. He said, this is based on the functions of what yoga can do. When you do asanas, particularly in the vinyasa style, maybe there could be a demonstration of something happening here about that. It will be where the person, it is for basically for students, they will do it in a particular style. In the Shikshana Krama, there will be an emphasis on exactly how a posture should be done. What is the description of it? And according to the description, one will have to do. Of course, one will not damage the body, but ultimately a student will have to reach that state of the classical positioning of the posture. The student will learn the classical way, Shikshana, the correct way of doing. In the Rakshana, where it is actually the same Srishti Sthiti Laya given in the functional way. There it was just said that 4, 2, 1. Here it is more into the quality, that is quantity, and this is quality. Qualitative aspect. In the qualitative aspect, in the Rakshana Krama, the breathing, correct technique of breathing, how one should do. Of course, the correct technique of breathing is taught even at the Shikshana Krama itself. They will also do an amount of dhyana, but there will be more, the style of doing will be different. In the Chikitsa Krama, which we follow, it's completely different. It is for sick. There will be a lot of modification and adaptation for the sick people. In fact, Chikitsa Krama will be applicable to anybody. There can be children who are unwell. So you have in the Chikitsa Krama, what we have found is Chikitsa Krama is not the end of it. One will have to understand that Chikitsa is a temporary phase of making one fit and put them back into the mainstream so that they become more fit and continue. It is not that one is expected to be sick always. The idea is to remove the sickness, heal the person. When healing the person, yoga has to be completely different, and it will also be on a one-to-one basis. And in the dynamics in yoga, the importance of a teacher and a student-teacher relationship is what he has emphasized. In fact, in the Yoga Ragasya, he says, Guru Prasada Nadeva Dvau Yogau Phaladau Smritau Anyatha Patanayalam Nigrahat Shripatehe Padat. Guru Prasadanat Eva, with the blessings and teachings of the Guru only. Dvau Yoga here, actually he is talking about Bhakti and Prabhati Yoga, which I have not presented. There are two types of yoga according to Yoga Ragasya, which is called as Bhakti and Prabhati Yoga. Bhakti Yoga is the Ashtanga Marga Yoga and Prabhati Yoga is the Shadanga Marga Yoga. That's a different topic. On that he is talking about it. Anyata Patanalayam, that is the other things, people will fall. Nigrahat Shripatehe Patat. Then the teacher is actually talking about the importance of a teacher should practice. That is a very, very interesting aspect. I will talk about it. He is talking about it in Yoga Ragasya. Ityeva madibhi pumsam yogasana niyojanam Nyatva shikshet guru shastram swayam abhyasya nityata. Swayam abhyasya nityata. He says, please don't attempt to become a teacher without your practice. And today one of the important dimensions in yoga is that everyone like to write some courses, examinations, sometimes even correspondence and become a teacher. We are never permitted to do that. Ityeva madibhi pumsam yogasana niyojanam nyatva shikshet guru shastram swayam abhyasya nityata. In fact, the word acharya, which he holds like yogacharya, is a special word. Achinotihi shastrartat acharet sthapayetai Swayam acharate yasmat tasmat acharya uchyate. The one who has completed the Shastra studies, completed and follows, practices and then teaches. That is actually most important aspect of the dynamics in yoga which we should look at today. Please go to the next one. Yoga for women. This is another important dimensions of his teaching where he has emphasized that yoga is specially for women. Adhikaro visheshena srinam bhumyo nikatyate santana taru vistare Shri Shariram hi karanam. The yoga actually in his time, during his time, this is more relevant because today we find a lot of women taking to yoga. In fact, it is, if you come to Yoga Mandiram or even in this hall, if you see, the percentage of women is more than men. But what was the idea behind this is, he is talking that why women should do yoga. What is the focus of that is, they are not only taking care of their health, they are taking care of the health of the progeny. Actually, there is a large amount of emphasis given on the mental and physical health of the pregnant woman. He has talked about yoga for pregnant women in separate segments in the Yoga Ragasya. Okay, thank you. The next one is what we call as Vini Yoga. I mean, generally, this is a word we have taken from the Yoga Sutra, Tasya Bhumishu Viniyogaha. The meaning of that is can be different in different contexts. The way we use is, Viniyoga is generally application and it should be applied according to the individual. This is the core teaching of Krishnamacharya which we follow in Krishnamacharya Yoga Mandiram. In fact, he nicely says, Deha Bhedat, Desha Bhedat, Vritti Bhedascha Naikadha, Rutu Bhedascha Jayante, Yogaha Sangena Sarvada. So he says, talks about even illness. That is, according to him, the illness is joining of unimportant things, particularly Sangad. In fact, like Yoga, Bhagavad Gita says, Sangad Sanjayate Kamam, Kamad Krodho Vijayate. So Sangha is most important. The most important thing is the right Sangha. So due to differences in the body structure and the place of residence, avocation, changing seasons, human beings get diseases, and this is another reason why everything should be taught according to the individual. Second, the most important point is, please go to this is actually the, can you go back one minute, please go back. Actually this, what does it, the import of this is, modification and adaptations which we use in Yoga Mandiram is based on that. We call something like a form versus function. These are all something very serious topics of on which we can do even workshops, like how we adapt yoga for individuals. This is his contribution which we follow in the Krishnamacharya Yoga Mandiram. Next one. Then one more dimension is use of breath in posture. This is very important and our school very specifically emphasize on this. Asana abhyasa kaleshu nigrahyaha pranavrittayaha. That is, the movement of the breath must be synchronized with the movements of the body, and there is special way in which one should breathe in the postures. This is what is that? What is the role of that? Is the breath acts as a check for any damage to the system. You don't have to wait for somebody else to tell you that you are doing wrong. You will be able to find out. And before there is some problem that comes to the body on account of practice of posture, your breath will tell you, or you overstretching yourself, what is the reason behind that. So this will, Namaste, please come, welcome. And it helps in improving the posture. It makes the breath suitable for pranayama. So when breath is integrated with the posture, it makes it suitable for pranayama and makes the mind practice mindful. Prayatna Shaitilya Ananta Samapatipyam. How can be achieved? Please go. In Krishnamacharya Yoga Mandiram, we follow all the principles as advocated by the Yogacharya, individualization through consultation and one-to-one teaching, yoga for women, emphasize mentorship of training teachers, etc. The true purpose of yoga, the yoga is for transformation. It is not for simply moving the limbs or getting better at neck pain, back pain. It is a transformation, an evolution, a parinama. In fact, one has to go through that. Practice of yoga must ultimately result in transformation for good, but develop the divine qualities, make one independent. That is the Kaivalya aspect. I think that probably brings to end. Go to the next one. Oh, please go to the next one. Next one. It's all. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for highlighting the dimensions of yoga as envisioned by T. Krishnamacharya. The floor is now open for questions if you have any. No questions? I request Dr. B.R. Sharma to please sum up this session.
Respected Sridharan ji, the scholars sitting in front of me and their students. Today, I find myself lucky today because whatever he has presented, actually speaking, I was not aware of it. So, and I think the way he has presented the theme, it is wonderful. First of all, while talking about the dimensions, he said that the teacher and he has given emphasis to the personal practice, and while teaching the practices there is a need of personal touch. This need of personal touch, it indicates that somewhere or other the teacher is transforming the energy to the student somewhere or other, and therefore this personal touch is very much essential in the practice of yoga. The second aspect which he has highlighted about the three Srishti Krama, Sthiti Krama and the Antya Krama. The first one is for the brahmacharis. He has divided as per the Banprastha and the second part Sthiti Krama is very much relevant, seems very much relevant for the householders, Grihasthashramas. And the last one Antya Krama, as in Kumar Sambhava, Kalidas also says Yogain Ante Tanu Tejam. There is one he has written somewhere. So Banprastha and Sannyas, it is Antya Krama. And I think, actually speaking, I was not aware of it. So I am thankful to him for elaborating this aspect in front of us. Another, this Shikshan Krama, Rakshan Krama, and what is this? Yes. So, correct breathing. You know, we all are in the habit of shallow breathing. We have developed a habit of shallow breathing. If you want to see the natural breathing, we have to go to the newborn baby, how he breathes or she breathes. But because of the emotions or because of the other things, some way or other, we have forgotten how to breathe properly. So this Rakshan Krama and Shikshan Krama, it seems very, very relevant, I think. Another aspect with regard to the dynamics, teacher and the relationship between teacher and taught. And teacher should be practitioner. This is another aspect. In Guhya Samaj Tantra, we have this, nowadays it is prevalent that by viewing the cassettes and the CDs, we are practicing. But it is, keep in mind, it may be harmful sometime. And therefore, particularly in Guhya Samaj Tantra, it is mentioned that the yoga should be learned properly under the proper guidance. So Guru, and Guru is not that which only teaches you the lesson, but he is said to be Prerak, Prerak, initiator. So initiation should be there from the Guru, and then only your practice may be fruitful, otherwise it may harm sometime. It is very much clearly mentioned in Guhya Samaj Tantra also. With regard to the yoga for women and the Sanskrit words which he has used, it was very much convincing. The concept of Brahmacharya, if you go through Patanjali Yoga Sutra, or if you go to Mahavira, if you go to Buddha, they may say that these are the Mahabhratas. So Brahmacharya is one of them. But if you go to Vashishta, he may say that Rito Sodareshu, something like that, it is mentioned. And with a view to continue this process of Srishti, there is a need, so we have to take care of not only of our body, but also of that aspect, which is very much important. As he said that progeny is also to be taken care of. So that part is very, very important. Use of breath, Viniyoga particularly, Viniyoga. I am very much convinced with this statement. Each and every one of us having a different constitution, different temperament. And that could be the reason that in our classical literature we find a different schools of yoga. If you go through Shiv Samhita, it says that there are 4 kinds of people. If you are weak, then you may take up the mantra yoga. 4 types of, even though in Bhagavad Gita also the 4 types of sadhakas, it is mentioned. So this part, keeping that part in mind, individual's capacity, his physical limitations, his temperament, and accordingly if we initiate the yogic practices, it will be more fruitful. So I am very much convinced with this aspect. And yoga ultimately is for transformation. So we, as in the morning I said that we have to go beyond the mind also. So transformation should be there, and that transformation cannot take place unless there is a Sattva Udareka. We have to increase. In Bhagavad Purana, if you go through, how to practice it, how to increase the intensity of Sattva within us, it is mentioned that sometime you may be dominated by the Tamoguna, wherein you may feel lethargy, you do not want to do anything. At that point of time, it says that you should take the help of Rajoguna, activity. You should do some activity. And when you find that you are becoming more active, at that point of time, you take the help of Sattva-guna and you can maintain the balance. So this is what in Bhagavad Purana beautifully it is mentioned. Ultimately, increase of Sattva-guna, and we have to, how to do this? only in day-to-day life we can observe. So always we have to keep ourselves under observation wherever you are, whether you are at work or whether you are at home or whether you are wherever you are. You have to keep yourself under observation all the time. This observation slowly will be converted into your awareness, and this awareness is ultimately is the purpose, and that is yoga. With these words, I would like to thank to Sridharan ji for enlightening us with regard to the assumptions or the original thought of Sri Krishnamacharya ji. And really speaking, I do not know about you, but I am benefited, and I would like to thank once again to him. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for your valuable insights. With this, we conclude the first session. Question? Just one question, sir.
First of all, I would like to say that I'm honored to have had my initiation in yoga training by the great Paramacharya, Krishnamacharya himself. And later I did the 2-year course with Latha ji and her colleagues, and now I'm here today. I feel the continuity always not getting cut. My question, not even a question, my anxiety. You were talking about Sikshana, Rakshana and Sihicha. Today we find most people come to learn to yoga maybe in their teenage, much later, maybe at 30s, 40s, 50s, mostly to get cured or get rid of some pains and aches or to, get rid of some symptoms. So there is no way one could actually start with the Sikshana, making them do it in the ideal way, because I don't think it is possible. If you are past your childhood, your body is not flexible. And I don't think it's possible for anybody to do the posture in an ideal way. So I feel today most of it is starting in Sikshana. And maybe at some point when you have cleared up a lot of mess, then maybe you could reach the Rakshana backwards and maintain it at that. And my anxiety is, if we could do something, all the yoga teachers and people, if insisting more on yoga teaching in school itself at a lower level, elementary school when the children are young, because it's a body-mind thing, so overall development will start from them. So this is my basic worry, anxiety, and to do something about it, if we can think of it. Thank you.
Does it work? Okay. Thank you. I think you have probably, there is no question here. You have only put up some statement. You belong to our category. And so, well, the question is, yes, it is ideal to start at a very early age. In fact, you look at most of the references, for example, you take something like Sandhya Vandanam, one of the practice where there are a lot of postures. You will see that one will have to sit in Utkatasana, which is the most difficult posture today to sit and do for 5 minutes. So what is the idea? Ancients have put yoga for children in the beginning, and one can do in Utkatasana till the end. If you don't start at that time, but the question is, there are segments of people who start late. In Yoga Mandiram, practically, what we feel is, we are not leaving them, we are making them to get into the stream. Ideally, as you said, we should introduce, we are doing our best, government is doing the best to introduce in the schools. But let me tell you, introduction to the school will not make children do yoga at all. It will make, children will do yoga only when the adults do yoga in their home. This is what I have been telling. If the father and mother do yoga, the children will do. No other way. And they follow that. If the father and mother sees television, children see television. That's all. The only way to your answer is let all of us do it and let our children do.
Jad jad acharti sreshtaha tatabed ev itrojanaha. It is said in Sanskrit that if father and mothers, they are the practitioners, automatically it will be imbibed in the children. Number one. Number two, in long back NCRT, it was proposed, and Kaivalyadham does his part while providing them the module to the students in the from the age of 8th, something like that. And this module is available with the NCRT as well as with Kaivalyadham. If you want, that module can be provided to you. Mr. Ganguly, at that point of time, he was working as a principal of the college. He has developed that module that the yoga should be taught from the age of 8. This is the prevalent, it is prevalent, and now NCRT is somewhere or other introducing yoga. But as he said, it is not possible unless it is being practiced at home. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. I invite our next speaker, Dr. Latha Satish, to please come on to the dais. Mr. Sridharan will chair this session. I request Mr. Sridharan to please present a bouquet to Dr. Latha Satish. Dr. Latha Satish, who has held the post of UGC Research Scientist at the University of Madras for nearly 2 decades, is also among the senior-most students of Yoga Master TKV Desikachar and studied under him for over 3 decades. She is a recognized MPhil and PhD guide at the University of Madras and also a resource person at the Academic Staff College, University of Madras, apart from conducting regular workshops for various government and non-government organizations. She has carried out over 10 major research projects on yoga and health, funded by the UGC, the ICSSR, the CCRYN, Ayush, and other such key research funding agencies. She is a member of the Madras Psychology Society and the Indian Academy of Applied Psychology, and is also a review member of the International Journal of Yogic Science. She is also a trustee of the Center for Indian Knowledge Systems. Dr. Latha has over 30 research publications on aspects of yoga and psychology to her credit. She is currently the managing trustee of the Krishnamacharya Yoga Mandiram. Over to you, Dr. Latha.
With due respects to all the dignitaries and yoga masters here, and also the delegates who have come to attend this workshop, I will try to take few minutes with you to present on this concept of yoga. Is it a philosophy or healthcare system? I am very happy that Dr. Sharma has just gone out for some visit. If he were here, he would have said, why, Latha, you want to talk about philosophy and healthcare technology? Because it's a philosophy, and it is also talk about suffering, how to come out of suffering. What is a big deal about it? Then I had to make a real tactical move by sending him out and try to present my view here. Okay. Anyway, this is one dimension of yoga where we have to now take certain clarity. I am addressing this aspect only for young students who are sitting at the back side.
Okay, it is not meant for the front row because they have lot of views on this. Why I am addressing the youth and young people here is for the whole workshop is meant for them to have a knowledge or understanding about what is the role of yoga in my life. What is it that I have to understand? So I try to focus on them. In between, if there is any deviations, if you don't understand, please pardon me, I will try to explain if possible. So can we move on, please? We need this. Many people are attracted to yoga. So beautiful to watch young people practicing yoga on the television because the postures are so beautiful. If Kareena Kapoor can do it, even I can do it. That's the beauty of yoga. Postures attracts. Whatever said and done, if Sridhar ji says or Sharma ji says, no, yoga is not confined to posture, that is what attracts. What to do? In Mandiram, many people come and ask her, can you teach this posture or that posture? They will be very happy. Most of them are very happy. And it also promises peace and liberation. So that's what, you will be free from suffering. So everybody is under stress and tension, they want to be free from that. So people get attracted to yoga. They don't want to go to a psychotherapist or a counselor. Many less number of people come to me for counseling because Andamma is a mental patients. I mean, she sees people who are psychiatric illness. In Yoga Mandiram, it is a very beautiful cover. You don't have to be branded. That is the another reason. And also, people also take yoga because it's a very lucrative proposition. If you go to different yoga studios, if you teach 1 or 2 students, you can get a good money also, and it should be. It should provide artha also. And why then? When all yoga is giving me all this pleasure and bhogam, why should I have to study the philosophy of yoga? Why Yoga Sutra? Why this Shastra? Why I have to talk about so many Upanishadic Vakyas? All those things. That is what. So the question comes, I love asanas, I love the therapy part of it, but I don't want the philosophy part of it. That's what many of the people say. Even if I try to talk to people about their breathing patterns and talk about something what Patanjali has said, it doesn't go inside the head. Why? We always strive to keep the philosophy away from the certain attractive parts of the life. Like if in your house, if somebody serves you food, you love the puris very much. The bhaji is also nice. But if your mother gives along with it some nice, very herbal medicine, it is not taken because it is not attractive, not tasty for the tongue. So it's something like that is happening in yoga also. Many centers, yoga is now more promoted as fitness oriented, as something like health oriented thing, and less of the philosophical concept. So that is what is happening. What is the reason for this? Can we go to the next? See, what happens is, though yoga, the source of yoga originated in Vedas, it is a philosophy. Beautifully it was explained by Sharma ji that it is a process of a philosophy which says that there is something that is not self and that is something which is a self. I am there and there is something that is not me which is coming together. Okay? I write an exam, the marks are mine. But who wrote the exam? I wrote the exam. But yoga says, the marks are not you. Don't bother about the marks. Only bother about writing the exam. And only bother about your consciousness, something that executed the job. So this ability to distinguish between what is me and what happens after me joins with something, that is the basic crux that is there in the philosophical thing. Most of our problem originates because we are not able to distinguish between the self and the non-self. Right now I am talking. When I am talking, there is one part of me which is observing my own talking. When that part confuses with what I am talking, I get into problem, I will make a lot of mistakes. That is where we are not able to execute many things properly. We get into problem because your mother says or your father says something and you get annoyed, and throughout the day that anger stays with you. That anger is something in which you have identified. You have identified with the word that somebody says. One of your classmates says, stupid, idiot, why did you do this way? How can you call me stupid, you idiot? Because you have identified with the word stupid, idiot. So this is what is. Not me becomes identified with the me. The whole practice of yoga is the way skill to develop a skill to distinguish between these two so that you enjoy your life without any suffering. Now what happens, this process of going into this skill involves a lot of understanding about the concepts. Theoretical tenets are there. These theoretical tenets are presented in all the philosophical system, Indian philosophical system, and more strongly in yoga, because yoga deals with the mind, body, breath, and something beyond body, breath, mind, that is the consciousness. Okay, all of us are conscious. I am also conscious. Only problem is we are not able to hold on to that, and we are not able to feel that. The moment you become aware of that, then it is possible for us to deal with the life. Can we move to that? So what happens? This concept of consciousness and knowing about yourself and who am I, etc., are all very, very big concepts which are highly what we call as spiritual, or what we call as mystical, and highly which is something beyond my mind. All I can see is my back or my neck. That is something I can reach out, or maybe to an extent my breath, or my tummy which has come out, I can take it in. That is more at the gross level. So the distinction between this gross to something beyond, that makes the yoga philosophy shunned by many people. So what has happened is, yoga of late, of recent times, has become more and more body oriented, more and more health oriented, more and more stress relief mechanism. That is what has become ended up. I mean, so people say, oh, yoga therapy. So when you advertise a course, if you advertise a course on yoga philosophy, there will be 4 people applying for it. If you advertise a course on yoga therapy, Anuradha is laughing. Yoga therapy, 10 people will apply, because it generates a very good interest. Why? We go to the next one. The reason before going to that, I would like to say why this interest in yoga therapy is because there is a change in the modern contemporary life. Yoga has adapted itself to the changing time. What has happened is, in ancient time, sages and munis, you were able to walk miles together. They were living in forest. But what we have done is, we have built a whole society, system, everything has changed. Diseases have increased and problems have increased. There is no chance for the mind to contemplate something beyond one. Secondly, beautifully we are doing research on many things. Whether if you do this type of breathing, what will be the effect on the stomach? What will be the effect on respiratory system? So there is a large, vast amount of research which has been gathering up, and this research proves that if you do this posture, your back will go. If you do this posture, diabetes is under control. If you do these type of pranayama, you will be able to make your mind this way or that way. So there is vast amount of research, and this research evidence is pushing people to yoga, seeking it as a relief for some problem, not as a philosophical system. So this is another problem. Now in this contemporary world, where one side research is taking place, another side there is a need for therapy, because many people are afflicted. The suffering is not only adhyatmika, adi bhautika, adi daivika, many daivikas, many sources of suffering is coming. So people are into trouble. So there is a research going on. This has brought in the concept of health as the priority in yoga. Now this is where I try to understand the concept of yoga as perceived by Krishnamacharya and what he has done. Krishnamacharya was a philosopher basically who studied all the texts, as Sridharan ji said, and he clearly understood the tenets and the philosophical tenets of yoga, and he said, now what is required for the people is therapy. And he was the one who blended this, both the philosophical concepts of yoga and the therapeutic needs were met by adapting to the needs of the individual. See, I am just trying to put the philosophical degrees he got. He was a Mimamsacharya, Nyayacharya, Nyayaratna, Yoga, Sankhya Yoga, Chikamani, Vedanta Vagisha, Veda Kesari. He studied Ayurveda also, and he was a very good Veena player. All this were there in him. He could have used any of this philosophical system to propagate yoga and tell people. But what he did, this is the system which will even address the health issues of the people, and that is when he started teaching one-to-one yoga to people, and that is where, no, he was, according to his teacher's advice, he came to the plains and started teaching yoga to people, and he standardized this. Please. So, the philosophical understanding is very, very essential. People cannot become yoga therapist or yoga healthcare technologist without knowing the principles and philosophical tenets behind the yoga. Theoretical tenets are there in Yoga Sutra. It is there in all the philosophical systems, Indian philosophical system, and these tenets have to be converted into the practice, and the practices are also given by Patanjali. Patanjali gives equal weightage to practice as well as the philosophy, and that practical principles are the one which has been systematized and which has been given as an individualized therapy program, and this aspect is taught by all the yoga persons across the country, whether it is in Pondicherry or in Kaivalyadam, or it is in Bihar, or is it in Himalayan Institute. All over India there are so many yoga masters who are teaching yoga therapy, because the need of the hour is people are afflicted. At the same time, they are not forgetting the philosophical thoughts also, because that guides them, that puts them into the right practice. So, the need to understand what is mind, what is body, what is consciousness is essential. At the same time, you also have to have a practice to reach to this and correct it and strengthen it, whatever it is. So, I would like to say that Krishnamacharya Yoga Mandiram, I am talking this based on our experiences, where we teach both yoga as a philosophy as well as a healthcare technology, and this is a prime therapy institute where Krishnamacharya's vision and grace is blessing, where we try to teach both the philosophical tenets and health care strategies also. Can we go to the next one? Now I would like to please go on, please move. The reason for, we went fast, the reason for skewedness in shifting to yoga as just healthcare or just as a therapy is purely because of people have not understood the deeper needs. I have seen that when we try to put a practice for somebody to improve their health or to manage a disease condition, symptom, or if we want to make somebody's mind peaceful or calmer, or even if we want to take them ahead in their life path forward, the teachers who are efficient in both understanding about the philosophical tenets as well as have a very good personal practice are the most effective therapists, coaches, mentors who can do very well with the people. Not only that, they are the one who really able to make a difference in their own life. If I am using yoga as purely as healthcare technology, both as a psychologist as well as a yoga practitioner, I will just dispense a set of course to a person and say, do this, you will be better. Then what I will do? It may just relax a person. Definitely, yoga is Sanjeevani. It is like yoga vahi. It can, anybody does even a smallest movement of breath and arm movement, they feel a sense of well-being. Subjective well-being is a common outcome of yoga practice. Whether you do a research on brain or whether you do a research at the body level, people feel better. That is the punyam of yoga, what we call as the outcome of yoga. That outcome anybody can deliver it. An experienced practitioner or a 10-month practitioner also can do it. But the real impact of yoga is the transformation of the mind. That part very few people can do. The long back, there was a person who came to Yoga Mandiram asking for benefit for yoga practice for diabetic condition. She was a diabetic patient. She wanted, sir, can you teach me Mayurasana so that I can be free of diabetes? This article and this pamphlet says so. This lady was quite, central obesity factor was very high and she was not even able to bend forward. Imagine doing Mayurasana. Sir, T.K. Videshikachar was sitting and I was there as one of his assistant there in consultation. He said, Amma, most of you will understand Tamil. Amma, if that were the solution, I would have printed the pamphlet and distributed and made everybody happy. It is not like that. So, the skill and the practice comes from the transformation where a teacher is able to impart instruction, student practices it and puts it back to the teacher. Yes, this is what happening. Teacher observes and tracks the progress, and like that this process goes on. The yoga is a process of transformation at the physiological, psychological level and at the spiritual level. If that has to happen, yoga is to be both a philosophy as well as a healthcare technology. Where a person starts differ. Somebody may start at the chikitsa. I may have a back pain problem. I may start as a yoga chikitsa and start some lying posture and make myself back better, and then I slowly move, because I cannot say my back alone, I exist with back alone. I exist with back, mind, relationship and the whole society. So you slowly move towards something very spiritual. There is somebody who starts very spiritual. I am so fascinated with what happens in my mind, or what is it that propels my mind to do things. What is it, my karma, why I am like this? That person starts with an inquiry and slowly thinks, my God, first let me quieten my breath and start doing some simple Chakravakasana, Urdhva something Urdhva Mukha Svanasana, something like that. So you may start somewhere there, come to somewhere at the body level, or you may start at something at the body level and move towards the spiritual. This is what happens, and this journey is a long journey. So yoga is both a philosophy and healthcare technology. They exist together, but giving importance to one and not to the other is completely a what you call as bias, and it is a skewed view of yoga. So I hope that youngsters here should not be afraid, because many people don't take philosophy. They think that, oh, why should I read philosophy? What is my job prospect? Start with yoga as a healthcare technology. Improve your own health. Start learning about the principles of how to manage your health. Slowly you will understand the principles. Those who are really fascinated with principles, like jnanis, who want to know the philosophical thing, start with this, but do not forget to practice so that you can come to the karma part of it also. It has got both jnana and karma. That is philosophy as well as healthcare technology. Now, both gives you money. Try to choose this as your occasion so that you can prosper, and I hope MOP Vaishnav College will start a course on yoga so that we can also absorb you as our own teachers. Thank you. There won't be any questions, so don't bother. I can understand the students. Don't torture yourself. And front row people won't ask me questions, because I will promise you I won't ask you. Thank you. We will wind up with this.
I request Mr. Sridharan to please sum up this session.
Why should he sum up?
Okay, we leave that aside. So we come to the end of this session. I thank Dr. Latha, Mr. Sridharan and Dr. B.R. Sharma, who was here earlier for the first part of this session. We now come to a short practice that will be led by the KYM faculty, just to give you an insight into the tools of yoga and how they can be used. At this juncture, I'd like to remind you that there is a stall displaying the publications on yoga and Sanskritam available outside the auditorium. There is also an exhibition of photographs of the Krishnamacharya Yoga Mandiram in the hall behind the registration area.
Good afternoon. Now we are going to have a small practice. We have to use only this hall, so we have a lot of chairs. So we are going to do some arm movements in a standing posture, and in a seated position we are going to do some breathing. It's okay? And it is before the boga, before your lunch. So we can do some yoga before the boga, to enjoy the boga. Okay? Thank you. First we will start with the breathing, a simple breathing technique where you first sit in a straight position, both feet on the floor, back straight, come little forward in your chair so that your feet will be firm on the floor, back straight. Place one palm on the chest, one palm on the abdomen. Now when you inhale, feel the expansion of the chest. When you exhale, feel the contraction of the chest. Please start. Inhale, feel the expansion of the chest and the upper abdomen. Exhale, feel the contraction of the abdomen. Relax the chest. Close your eyes. Just experience this breathing. Slightly chin down so that the spine is erect completely. Okay, thank you. Please stand up. We are going to do some arm movements. Some of you can come to this side so that you cannot hit another person when you are raising your arm. Please adjust yourself. A lot of place there. You have to move your arms from the front and the side. So adjust yourself. Now just observe my colleague Janaki Raman. When we are inhaling, raise the arms from the front. When you are exhaling, lower the arms. So shall we start now? Now inhale, raise the arms from the front. Stretch the arms completely, fully stretched. Exhale, lower the arms slowly. Inhale, raise the arms from the front. Stretch both arms completely, fully stretched. Exhale, slowly lower the arms. 4 more times on your own, slowly, within your capacity. Eyes are open. Next will be the last one. So you have to synchronize the breathing with the movement. Now the same thing we are going to do with the side arm movement. When you are inhaling, raise the arms from the side, feel the expansion of the chest, palms together, feel the stretching of the spine. Exhale, lower the arms slowly from the side. Start. Inhale, raise the arms from the side, feel the expansion of the chest, palms together, feel the stretch of the spine completely. Exhale, slowly lower the arms from the side. Inhale. Exhale. Combine the breath and the movement. 2 more times on your own. Do it slowly within your capacity. Okay. Next we are going to do a small twist in the standing level. First observe my colleague Janagiraman. Legs are apart. Little more. Just observe him first. Now inhale, raise the arms from the side, lock the fingers and turn them out. Lock the fingers and turn them out completely. And exhale, twist to left side. Then inhale, come to the center. Exhale, twist the right. Inhale, center. Exhale, unlock lower arms. Shall we start? Legs slightly apart, a firm footing. Now, inhale, raise the arms from the side. Lock the fingers, turn them out. Stretch completely. On exhale, turn to left side. Only your torso is turning to the left side. Inhale, come to the center. Exhale to the right side, maintaining the complete stretch. Feel the twist on your spine. Inhale, center. Exhale, unlock the fingers and lower the arms. Inhale, raise the arms from the side, lock the fingers, turn them out, stretch completely, full stretch. Now exhale, turn to your left, the torso is turning. Inhale, center. Exhale to the right side. Inhale, center. Exhale, unlock the fingers and lower the arms. 3 more times on your own. Please start. Inhale, lock the fingers, turn them out, complete stretch, feel the spine completely erected. Exhale, twist to the left. Feel the twist on your torso and the abdomen. Inhale, center. Exhale to the right side. Inhale, center. Exhale, lower the arms from the side, unlock the fingers. Inhale. Lock the fingers, turn them out, complete stretch. Exhale, twist to left. Inhale, center. Exhale, twist to right. Inhale, center. Exhale, lower the arms, unlock the fingers. Now in the same position, we are going to do a lateral bend. So, same thing. Inhale, raise the arms from the side, lock the fingers, turn them out. Exhale, laterally go to the left side, up to your comfort level. Inhale, center. Exhale, laterally go to the right side. Inhale, center. Exhale, unlock the fingers, lower the arms from the side. Shall we start? Yeah. Inhale, raise the arms from the side, lock the fingers, stand them out. Now exhale, laterally go to the left side, up to your comfort level. Inhale, center. Exhale to the other side. Inhale, center. Exhale, unlock the fingers, lower the arms. Inhale, raise the arms from the side, lock the fingers, stand them out. Exhale, laterally go towards the left side. Inhale, center. Exhale to the other side. Inhale, center. Exhale, lower the arms, unlock the fingers. Inhale, one last time. Complete stretch. Exhale, laterally left. Inhale, center. Exhale, laterally right. Inhale, center. Exhale, unlock the finger, lower the arms. Now we are going to do a small forward bend. You bend up to the level of your chair. Those who can able to bend forward little bit, you can go fully, or otherwise go up to the chair level. Okay? You can adjust yourself. We are going to do a small bending forward. Now, for this, inhale, raise the arms from the front. Exhale, bend forward. Those who are not able to, they can bend the knee and go down, or go up to the chair level. Inhale, come up. Exhale, lower the arms. Okay? A mild forward bend. Go up to the chair level. Inhale, raise the arms from the front. Exhale, bend forward. Those who can able to go fully, you can go. Inhale, come up. Arm should lead the movement. Come up slowly. Exhale, lower the arms. Inhale, raise the arms from the front. Exhale, bend forward. Inhale, come up. Exhale, lower the arms. 3 more times on your own. Do it slowly, go up to your comfort level. Feel the contraction of the abdomen, stretching of the spine. Two more times. One last time. Please sit on the chair. Take a rest for a minute. Just allow the breath to happen. Don't do any regulated breathing. Just relax for 1 minute. Are you ready for the breathing now? Okay. Now sit erect, back straight. Both feet on the floor. Place one palm on the chest, one on the abdomen. Do the focused breathing. Now observe the breathing. Just observe the breathing. Close your eyes. Slightly chin down so the spine is erect completely. Now inhale, focus on the expansion. Exhale, focus on the contraction of the abdomen. Just do this breathing. Inhale, focus on the expansion. The chest and the upper abdomen expands. Exhale, focus on the contraction of the abdomen completely. Inhale, feel the expansion from the rib cage up to the spine. Chest is lifted up. Exhale, feel the contraction of the abdomen, relaxing the rib cage. Just feel the breath. The mind goes with the breath. Moment. Okay, thank you. Now we are going to do a pranayama where we inhale through both the nostril, exhale through the alternate nostril. Just observe my colleague Janagiraman. Inhale both nostril, exhale, close one nostril. Then inhale both nostril, close the other nostril. So alternate nostril exhalation. Shall we do? Yeah. Back straight, keep the back straight, feet on the floor, chin down. Now, inhale both nostril, exhale, close one nostril, exhale through the other nostril. After complete exhalation, lower the arms, inhale through both the nostril, exhale through the other nostril. Next will be the last round. Now just close your eyes, observe your breath. Back straight, chin down, close the eyes, just follow the breath and observe your breath. Gently open the eyes. Thank you. Hope this practice will make you to sit for another 3 hours after the lunch. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. We now break for lunch. Lunch will be served in the ground floor. Please go to the ground floor and the volunteers will guide you to where lunch is being served. You are requested to please come back at 1:45. I request you to kindly be punctual so that the afternoon sessions can proceed on time. As I said before, there is an exhibition of KYM and Sanskrit related posters in the hall just behind the registration area. There is also a bookstall where a lot of literature on yoga and Sanskritam is available. Also, faculty from the KYM will be available at the venue of the exhibition for any queries related to yoga. We break now. Please return at 1:45. Please take your tokens when you go down for lunch.
Sahana